Please just put it on the table and put it up so people can see it. See who you are. We're going to have to squeeze. We're going to have to show that you people are friends with each other.
We are. That's cool.
Okay, let's get all these people together in front. And let me review the process and procedure tonight. We're going to have 2-minute opening statements from each of the candidates. And I'd like each candidate to take a number out of here, and this will determine the order of presentation. Take a number and pass on the... That's great. While we're doing that, Jack Humperville.
Who here knows that name? Let me see a show of hands. Who knows his name?
Come on up here, Jack. To those people who don't know who you are,
Shame on you.
who are you?
Shame on you. Shame on you if you don't know.
My name is Jack Humperville, and I've had a couple of words to say about the Department of Water and Power and their finances as well as the city's budget. I don't think I'm necessarily Mayor Villaraigosa's and the City Council's best friend. When you look at the city of Los Angeles, it's a rather simple government compared to everybody else. We don't do schools.
Hold on, Jack. Jack writes that there's a blog that you all should subscribe to. It's called City Watch. Okay, City Watch sends you an email once a day, once every few days?
Twice a week.
Something like that. Twice a week, and guys like Jack write really what's happening in the city. They're the watchdogs at City Watch, so that's who Jack is. So go ahead with your story now. Sorry.
No problem. I'll take all the praise I can get. Basically, the city of Los Angeles is a very simple operation compared to other governments. They don't do schools, they don't do health care, they don't do welfare, they don't do criminal justice, and they don't have to do jails. Yet, for some strange reason, our finances at City Hall are so screwed up. We have a deficit next year of $165 million, $425 million over the next 3 years. We have $25 to $30 billion in long-term liabilities, consisting of over $12 billion of unfunded pensions, infrastructure improvements, that deferred maintenance probably north of $10 billion, and existing long-term debt of over $6. That's $25 to $30 billion that everybody's going to try and dump on my kids and your kids and our grandchildren. So my question to the candidates tonight is: do you agree in structural reform of the city's budget? Do you believe that the city should engage in long-term planning, 2 or 3 year balanced budgets based on this little thing called generally accepted accounting principles, and over the next 20 years fully fund our pension plans, fix our streets, and fix our sidewalks? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Jules, quickly take a picture. He wants to take a group picture.
Everybody stand sideways.
Oh, the other way.
This is going to be weird, Jules.
No, you're confusing them.
It's going to be on Jules' mantelpiece. Okay.
That's a great.
One more.
One more. Okay, make it quick. I'm going to need a shave by the time I'm done here tonight. Okay. Sherman Blocks gave that line one night. Anyways, let's get started. Step one is the 2-minute opening statement as to who you are. We've distributed numbers. Does everyone have a number? And we have a timer here. At 15 seconds, it's 2 minutes, but at 15 seconds you'll get that, the yellow, and at the red, it's stop or else. Okay, who has number 1? Okay, and make sure that microphones work. Because some of them are trick microphones, they don't work.
Yep.
So, it works?
Hello, everybody. Yeah. Want me to start?
Start.
Good evening. My name is Tommaso O'Grady, and I'm running for City Council. My wife Justine and I are raising our 4 children in Los Feliz. I was raised on a farm in Ireland, so I'm no stranger to hard work, and I understand the value of being resourceful when throwing money at a problem just isn't an option. That was for you, Jack. Los Angeles could be one of the most dynamic cities of the 21st century. We could be environmentally and economically sustainable. And here's a novelty: we could be fiscally responsible. We're going to need fresh leadership to make that happen. I've dedicated myself to unpaid public service, just like many of you here tonight, because 22 years ago, I fell in love in America and with America. Through our nonprofit Enrich LA, we've built over 70 edible school gardens on a shoestring, and together with teachers and parents, we worked with the mother of all bureaucracies, the Los Angeles Unified School District, and transformed King Middle School in Los Feliz into an academic powerhouse. I'm trying to bring that same can-do, no-nonsense attitude to City Hall. I'm easily the most fiscally conservative candidate in this race. In fact, I would say that I'm a cheapskate. Steve Lopez just wrote about my work at King, where I got a bid to paint the front of the school from a licensed contractor for $13,500, and the city and the LUSD in their wisdom decided instead to spend $130,000 on the exact same project. Why does that bother me? It bothers me because it wastes my tax dollars, but it really bothers me given the kind of lack of funding for our streets and for our schools.
Thank you very much.
Respectfully asking for your vote. Thank you.
Okay. Who has number 2? Okay.
My name is Teddy Davis. I grew up going to school right here in Sherman Oaks. Hold it right up here now.
Everyone, 1 inch away from your lips.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Teddy Davis. I grew up going to school right here in Sherman Oaks. I've made a point of going door to door throughout our district during this campaign. I've met so many nice people right here in Sherman Oaks, from Cody Road to Peach Grove. And local residents have had a chance to tell me about what they love about Sherman Oaks, what brought them to the valley in the first place. The quiet streets, the big beautiful backyards. But they've also had a chance to show me what needs to change. And all over Sherman Oaks, folks have shown me the broken streets and sidewalks, the dangerously untrimmed trees, the McMansions overrunning neighborhoods, and a DWP that answers to no one. As your city council member, I will focus on taking care of the basics, fixing streets, repairing sidewalks, trimming trees. I will go to the DWP and demand a full accounting of every public dollar, and I will fight for an honest budget that includes asking our city employees to contribute more to the cost of their pensions and their health care. My name is Teddy Davis. This is where I'm from. That's what I stand for. It'd be an honor to represent you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, who has number 3?
Good evening, I'm Sheila Irani, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to serve as your council member for District 4. I can't think of any better way to serve this city that I love. I'm a native Angelino who is tired of paying higher taxes, while hearing that there's no money to fix our streets, or replace our aged water lines, or enforce our building code. So where is all of our money going? The answer is that most of it is going to overly generous compensation for city employees, far better than we as taxpayers earn or the businesses we create. I'm an entrepreneur who for the past 20 years ran a national award-winning transportation firm, serving government agencies from DC to Los Angeles. I was partner in an innovative firm that brought child care benefits as well as transportation benefits to Fortune 500 companies until we sold it to ADP. Now, I might make most of my money today in real estate, and I'm fortunate enough to devote my life to public service. I've been a big sister for 11 years, chaired as Children's Hospital Foundation benefiting high-risk and homeless youth, formed Women in Words to provide funds for foster children and battered women, served as president of my homeowners association, and on the board of Hollywood United Neighborhood Council. I first served the city as an intern for Councilmember Peggy Stevenson as a junior at Immaculate Heart High School. I then, later on, in 2011, I served Councilman Tom LaBonge as his Director of Special Projects. My work experience and graduate education from UCLA in urban economics as well as business administration came in handy in managing the budget and timelines for well over 45 infrastructure projects, which included the Purple Line, the bus rapid transit lane on Wilshire, parks, playgrounds, ball fields, and bridges. I am committed to reducing my salary by $50,000 and devoting it to community projects in CD4. Let me be your advocate and begin the challenging job of reducing the city's labor costs so that more money can be spent on infrastructure. Let's match development to infrastructure capacity. Thank you very much. See it, SheilaIrani.com.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Hello, is it working?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep it close.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jay Bieber. How is everyone doing this evening? Thank you so much for coming up. I want to thank Richard and the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association for inviting us here tonight. I want to thank you for being here because this is what local democracy is all about. And I'm really, really thrilled at how many people are here this evening. My name is Jay Bieber, and I live here in Sherman Oaks. I am the second vice president of the Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council. You're going to hear a lot of promises tonight about fixing your streets and your sidewalks and the DWP and fixing the budget and things like that. That's what they're going to do. Let me tell you what I've already done. Most of you know I'm the guy that got rid of the red light cameras here in Los Angeles. Thank you. I thought it was a good idea too, so thank you. And I just got the entire state to change how long the yellow light times are at traffic signals. That way I worked with Caltrans to make that happen. They didn't want to do it, but I made it happen. I'm working on parking reform. We're right at the end of that process. That report is coming out next month, and we got to get that through the city council. We're going to make sure that that happens. I've fixed water problems in Benedict Canyon. I've got Dixie Canyon Place paved. They said it was going to be 20 years. We got it done in a year and a half. Okay, now, we have a lot of problems in the city, and we need to fix them. We need fundamental change. The question is, who is the person who's going to bring fundamental change? Is it some former or current staff member? Is it a political insider? Or is it somebody who's already doing these things from the outside, working on the inside? I'm the guy that has the best record as far as fighting entrenched interests and standing up to special interests. I have 15 seconds. And the reason I have that great record is because I never give up, I don't take no for an answer, and if you hire me, that's exactly what I'm going to do for us. Never give up, never take no for an answer, and fix what's wrong with this city.
Thank you very much. Who's next? Steve?
My name is Steve Barris, and I'm a Sherman Oaks resident and homeowner. Of this group of candidates, I can tell you I probably had the shortest commute to this place here. I took a nice 10-minute walk with my wife right across the street. I get a chance to welcome my daughter's class, who's in the Civics Academy over at Milliken Middle School. And it's with great, they're right in the back, young ladies and young men back there. It's with great pleasure that I take this effort on to make a difference for my neighborhood. For the past 4 years, I was a member of the Los Angeles Community College District Board of Trustees. I ran because that district was failing. That district was disrespecting taxpayers. That district was wasting money. And over the past 4 years, I took on entrenched interest groups. We changed the nature of those colleges. We made them work for the people. We made them work for the students. And as you can tell, and I'll say this anywhere and everywhere, our budget's in much better shape. Our credit rating has been increased and uplifted. As opposed to the city of Los Angeles, whose budget still struggles, I get to be in a place where we've improved, we've made a difference, I've taken on a place and moved it and changed it and made it work for the better. As a council member, our job is very, very simple. We deal with land use and we deal with services. Both of those areas are struggling in the city of Los Angeles. Land use, throughout the district, in our neighborhoods, we're fighting back and forth. There is no trust in City Hall. There is no trust with the decision making that's happening. People are frustrated. It almost feels like if you miss a meeting, something bad's going to happen in your neighborhood, and that's got to stop. Services, Jack was right. Services are direct relation to the city's budget. If the budget isn't there, we can't provide the services. We've got to get control of the budget, focus on the services that are of greatest concern to you, and I've done that at the College District, and I intend to do that here for the city of Los Angeles. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Next candidate.
Good evening. Thank you for coming to our job interview. I'm Carolyn Ramsey, and I am the candidate with the most experience in this district, delivering for communities and making things happen in the 4th District. That is why I'm running for City Council. I have solved problems on the ground with all of you and made a difference, like getting a $2.6 million new soccer complex in Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park, and the new fitness equipment in the park, and repaving on Ventura Boulevard. That is why Councilmember Labange has endorsed me, as has Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell and dozens and dozens and dozens of community leaders. They know that I will deliver for the communities of Council District 4 and also to hold City Hall accountable to the neighborhoods. I was a neighborhood leader myself in the Wilshire area. I got involved to make my own neighborhood safer for my 2 kids, Dan and Olivia. Yes, I was Richard Close. And we had accomplishments on the ground, which is why Councilmember Labange offered me a job on his staff. I love what I'm doing, and I want to keep working for you. I have 3 top priorities as your council member. 1, to protect and enhance the neighborhoods of the 4th District, protect them from crime, overdevelopment, and traffic. 2, fix your infrastructure. Everyone agrees we have to fix our streets and sidewalks. I am saying, if we're going to tear up your street, let's make sure that we fix your water pipe too, so we don't have to come back 5 years later, tear up your new street, and install a new water pipe. If you think these things are out of reach, consider this. 20 years ago, Los Angeles was the murder capital of the United States. Today, it is the safest big city in America. Let's work together to make the safest big city in America the most livable too. Thank you.
Okay, who's next? See if that works well.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joan Pellico, and I am a resident of Sherman Oaks for 28 years. I have been working for Council District 5 for 9.5 years consecutively, and in fact, we used to represent Sherman Oaks. Sherman Oaks is 40% of the district now of Council District 4. I am a single mom. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I have a beautiful LGBT daughter who used to come to these meetings when she was a little girl. And it all started when I became president of the Parents Association for Sherman Oaks Elementary. I raised my hand at a meeting, and there I was, taking over the school with a team of parents. So we took a struggling school, and we tripled the fundraisers, we tripled the parent participation, but more important, we brought the business community to work with the school and vice versa. And that's where I was found by the council office when they saw me in action. So I started off with Council District 5, and my first order of business was a huge file of constituent issues. And I worked tirelessly 14, 15 hours a day till I resolved every single issue. I built very strong relationships with the departments. I know how the city works. I know how it doesn't work. My only special interests are you, our seniors, our children. I am the one that was instrumental in getting your traffic signal on Woodcliff and Mulholland. I got the left turn arrow at Woodman and Ventura, left turn arrow at Hazeltine. Most of the speed humps you see in Sherman Oaks, I had installed almost 10 years ago, and I have implemented over 200 miles of resurfacing. You put me in every position I've been in today. I ask you for one more.
Thank you.
Good evening, Sherman Oaks. My name is David Rue. I'm running for Los Angeles City Council District 4. My mother immigrated to this country a little after I was born. She came here not just for to come to a better place for her children, but a better place for herself. She wanted to come to a society that valued fairness, equality, hard work, a place where one could choose their own destiny. Growing up, my mother and my grandmother were the 2 most influential people in my life, and they taught me these values. But life was tough. The 6 of us lived in a 2-bedroom, 700 square foot apartment, and I can't remember when my parents didn't work 2 or 3 jobs. However, I got to attend the best public schools. I went to John Burroughs Junior High, Francisco Bravo Medical Magnet, then UCLA, which is why when I graduated, I wanted to give back, and for the first 3 years, I worked for local advocacy nonprofits in dispute resolution mediation, coalition building, civics education, and engagement. It is there where I got to meet my former future boss and mentor, Supervisor Yvonne Brathwaite Burke. I was primarily her social services deputy, but I got to also work on budgets and transportations. But more importantly, this is where I learned how government works and that government can work. So when she retired, I went back to my nonprofit roots, and for the past 6 years, I've been working for the second largest community mental health nonprofit hospital in LA County, the largest being our jail system. And this is why I'm running for office, because I believe in government. City council is where the rubber meets the road. I have seen the value of a good, strong leader can do for the community, and this is where I want to serve. I would love to serve as your next city council member. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, is that everyone? I think that's everyone. No, that's what I said. One more. I did say that, right? Wally Knox.
My name's Wally Knox, and I want to thank Sherman Oaks for voting overwhelmingly to send me to the California State Assembly 3 times. Wow. Now I'm running for Los Angeles City Council. It's very clear to me that there is one overwhelming issue in this race, and that is development, traffic, and the congestion that results from that. We have no certainty as to what is going to descend on our neighborhoods next. In Los Angeles, we pretend that we have the rule of law. We pretend that our community plans actually govern what's going to be built and that our zoning can protect our neighborhoods. But the actual truth, and everyone in this room knows this is a fact, the actual truth is that every city council member has unfettered discretion to make whatever decision they wish to make for whatever reason. We have no law that governs this. I have no assurance as to what will drop on my neighborhood next. And so I must oppose every single thing that comes down the line, not only because there's something wrong with it, but because I'm terrified of what the next thing will be. My rivals are all excellent people, as should be very, very clear now. But they are all saying to you this: I'm nicer than the others. Elect me, and you can trust me to make every right decision on development. And I'm saying that's the wrong answer. The wrong answer, because the right answer is we need laws on which we can rely. We need laws which govern the city council member and bind the city council member as much as they bind you or me. If you think the current rotten system is okay, fine. If you think we need to change it, stand with me, join with me, and we can do it together.
Thank you. Okay, we have a yes or no question coming up. Okay, I assume everyone today read the LA Times, and everyone in the room read the LA Times about digital billboards and the fact that a certain company and other companies are giving money to candidates hoping that they'll get digital billboards approved after the election. And it had a map, and a number of those digital billboards are right on Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks. So we have a yes or no question. We're going to start here. And since it's being taped, if you can give your name and the answer of yes or no. Okay, here is the question. Will you pledge to oppose digital billboards in Los Angeles, and in particular in this district? Will you pledge tonight to oppose all digital billboards in Los Angeles and in this district? It's a yes or no, where we don't need politicians with long answers. Your name and your yes or no. Why don't we start here, we'll work down.
All everywhere? Everywhere?
In Los Angeles, you're going to be a council person for all of Los Angeles, maybe, and in particular this district. So we'll start at this end. Your name and your answer.
Okay. My name is Carolyn Ramsey, and I'll say yes in this district.
You will oppose
Yeah, I will.
in this district.
In this district.
Which is, okay, next.
I'm saying the same thing.
Who are you?
Yes, in this district, Joan Pellico.
Okay, next.
David Rue, no in this district.
No digital billboards. Okay, next. Okay,
No digital billboards.
You want no digital billboards.
Sorry about that, I was thinking too hard.
We're smart, Sherman Oaks, we understand. No digital billboards. Wally?
So yes means no.
Yes, okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, because there are 3 scheduled to go in on Ventura.
Okay, so you're opposed to all of them, and you would vote against them. Okay?
Jay Bieber, and yes, I am opposed to the digital billboards.
Thank you. And wait a minute, Kevin, do we have this all on tape? Because one of these people probably will be voting. Okay, next.
Sheila Irani, and I am opposed to digital billboards. In this district.
Steve Veras, and I'm opposed to digital billboards in this district.
Teddy Davis, and I will oppose digital billboards in this district.
Tommaso O'Grady, I will oppose digital billboards in this district, but not in the downtown area. I think we
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to step 2 in this meeting. We're going to start with number 9 and work up. Okay, this is the opportunity. Each candidate will have an opportunity to ask a question of another candidate. Okay, so we're going to start with whoever has number 9. What is your question and who is it directed to? And they will have 90 seconds to answer the question and no more than 45 minutes to make a speech. I'm sorry.
45 minutes.
To ask your question. Okay, number 9.
45 seconds on the question.
45 seconds on the question.
All right, this is directed to my friend Steve Veras. Steve, you've taken the position that we should completely repeal Los Angeles' business tax overnight. It's been pointed out that that would blow a $470 million hole in Los Angeles' budget. Our structural deficit would go from $165 million to $600 million. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce interviewed both of us. I told them I'm against completely repealing the business tax because it would cripple city services. And the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce said, you're right, Wally, Steve's wrong. We endorse you because you're the one who understands that the businesses of this community need a government that can actually function. Have you changed your point of view?
No, not at all. And that isn't the reason why the Hollywood Chamber endorsed him. I will say this about the business tax. It is an absolute competitive disadvantage for every single business in the city of Los Angeles. I'll point out one neighborhood in Los Angeles in District 4 that actually shares a border with an adjacent city, Toluca Lake. Half of it's in Los Angeles, half of it's in Burbank. Right now, Burbank is a substantially stronger community when it comes to attracting business. They beat our pants off every opportunity they can. What I've said about the business tax is 2 years ago, every single mayoral candidate came by and campaigned that that tax was going to be gone. Nothing has happened in the last 2 budget cycles.
Thank you. Who is number 8? Okay. Who's your question? Well, in fairness, who's your question directed at? So
Jay Bieber.
Okay.
Jay, I'm running to change the conversation at City Hall. And that starts by first listening to the community. Because change can't happen without first having dialogue. So I would like to hear from some of the voices that are often ignored in this race. So we know you work on the red light camera, but we haven't heard much else. So please tell me something about your positions on homelessness and your thoughts on jump-starting and reviving our economy, local economy.
Is this where, oh, there we go. Thank you, David. Yes, and actually, it's interesting because other people have said to me, oh, you're all about the traffic thing. Well, as a community advocate who's not getting paid and only has a little bit of time to spend on each issue, there are certain things that I have spent my time on, but as your councilman, I can spend my time on a lot more things. And like, for example, it's not just the traffic thing. We have this water problem in Benedict Canyon, and for the first time in decades, I brought out all the city departments and said, how are we going to fix this? And we now have something on the drawing board. But thank you. So as far as homelessness is concerned, this is a really important issue here in the valley, but also throughout the city. We were asked this question through the Los Feliz Ledger, and
And we did, oh my God, I gotta stop already. I was singled out
Thank you.
for my answer.
Thank you very
I'm happy
much.
to answer this for anybody here tonight.
Okay, who's the next person and who's the question directed towards?
That would be me. This is for Steve. I love the cheerleaders. So Steve, you're sending letters to Sherman Oaks and touting that you're the voice of Sherman Oaks, kind of disregarding that I've done so much good work with the community and lived here for 28 years. So it's really a simple question. Before this election, how many Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association meetings have you attended? I've attended 105. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think it's important. This district that has 35% of its vote in Sherman Oaks deserves a council member. CD4 has never been represented from Sherman Oaks. It's been since 1960. I can't go beyond that, but that's what I've asked for the city analyst's office. When the last time from Sherman Oaks somebody came and was part of the city council. I will say this, my college board meetings are every other Wednesday. They align with these meetings. In the past 4 years, I've had to make a choice. If I get out of college board early, I'm here. If I couldn't get out of the college board early, I could not be here. I ran for that office. I ran on behalf of this community. I ran on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. I had to fulfill my duties and responsibilities there. I can't be two places at once. Fact of the matter. In terms of being here, I will sit.
Yes, the timekeeper says, thank you very much. Who's next? Okay, who's the question directed at?
Joan Pellico.
Oh, Joan Pellico.
So, Joan, part of my campaign is to develop the Hollywood Innovation Zone for economic development, to create good, solid jobs in the Hollywood industrial core. There's a 20-block area where we're going to draw tech startups and match them with entertainment studios to develop new companies that are tech and entertainment for good, clean jobs going forward, to build on our economy and create more jobs that are well paid. If you get elected, would you continue that initiative? And if not, what other economic development tools do you have in your toolbox?
Thank you. Well, I have to say, that's innovation, Carolyn. Great job. Now, anything to bring in more jobs is really important, the tech aspect of it. We are an in-service city. I'm not sure how it's going to be since we've just redone the community plan for Hollywood. It needs some tweaks. So I'm not sure how it's going to fit in and what it will take to have that overlay zone. But I will tell you, as far as helping our economy thrive, it's about keeping our businesses open, and we have to become friendlier to our businesses. It's about streamlining the permit process.
Thank you.
That was it.
Okay, who's next?
We're on 5.
Who is 5?
That's me.
Okay, who's the question directed towards?
I almost feel like I need to ask 2 questions. I'll ask one question, and the question goes to Wally Knox. 14 years ago, we witnessed an election in Council District 4. Sherman Oaks was not part of the district at the time. That pitted your wife Beth against Tom. Your wife Beth is a labor attorney representing several of the city employee unions, firefighters, port workers, IBW. How would you manage the conflict of interest?
First of all, you're wrong on the facts. The IBEW local that my wife represents does not represent city workers.
They do. They're part of the EAA.
Anyways, okay.
The way conflicts of interest are handled, you go to the city attorney, you prevent the city attorney with what you think may be an issue that they should review. You ask the city attorney to come back and tell you what you must do. And if you must recuse yourself from time to time from decisions, the city attorney tells you exactly what to do, and you obey it. That's exactly how I'll handle it.
Okay, who's next? Okay, who's the question?
This question goes to Wally, right here.
Wally, a couple of years ago, the city was pushing a half-cent sales tax on the city. I would say that that failed by a large margin. Probably most of the people here in this room voted against that. I know Teddy came as a representative of the mayor trying to push that at the Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council, and I think I beat him up pretty good on it. But you not only may have supported it, but you actually donated money to the campaign to support it. So my question to you is, where would you, by the way, this was a very deceptive campaign. We're going to lose 1,000 police officers and things like that, which didn't happen. My question to you is, where do you stand on that, and can you reconcile that with how the community feels about these sorts of things?
Yeah. Ever been wrong? I was wrong. And I learned my lesson. You spoke very clearly on that proposition. There shall be absolutely no tax increases for the foreseeable future. Jack Humphreyville urges us to get our house in order, and he's absolutely correct. From time to time in my public life, and as you know, I've been around a while, I have been wrong. And on that one, I was.
Okay, who's next? Who's next? Okay, who's the question to?
The question is to Teddy Davis. Los Angeles is now ranked the highest rent in the country.
In the mic.
Los Angeles has been ranked the highest rent in the country, so it's become very unaffordable. What would you put as far as a strategy to help with affordable housing development in the city of Los Angeles?
Thanks so much for the question, Sheila. There are a few things I would do on the question of affordable housing. Number one, I would protect the rent stabilization ordinance that's been in place in Los Angeles since the 1970s. I've been endorsed by David Roberti, the father of rent control in the state of California. So number one is to protect rent control. Second thing I would do is to work with the mayor to establish a permanent source of funding for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. The funds in that have been depleted significantly over the last 7 years. We need a permanent source of funding for that. And the last thing I would do is, as we see new housing come online, I would favor a no net loss policy. So if we're going to do some condo conversions, let's make sure that we are replacing it with real affordable housing and middle class housing.
Thank you. Who's next? Okay, number two. Who's the question directed at?
Let's see, sorry. Thank you so much, Richard. My question is for Tomas O'Grady. The 14 candidates were recently interviewed by the Los Feliz Ledger about the LAPD. I spoke to them about the importance of civilian oversight. But when Tomas spoke to the newspaper about our police officers, he compared them to the Gestapo during Hitler's Third Reich. And so my question, Tomas, is this. If you were elected, how would you expect the LAPD to work closely with you in that capacity?
Okay, that's a cheap shot. I want everybody to read the Los Feliz Ledger and read the quote, and it says exactly. I think the uniforms have a sense of military. They're very darkly colored, and they remind me of the Gestapo of the Third Reich. I resent the fact that you would leave out the middle piece about the uniform. It's a cheap shot. That's my answer. Please read the Los Feliz Ledger for the full quote. Thank you.
Okay, who's next? Tomas, who's next?
Yeah. Okay.
Who's your question? Two.
This is for Carolyn Ramsey. When I was endorsed by the Los Angeles Times in 2011, when I ran for this race, one of the things they applauded me for was my motto, which was leading by example. Carolyn, given that our streets are bursting at the seams, given that we're running out of money fast, given, this is for Jack also, that we'll probably be asking a custodian at City Hall to contribute more to his health care and his retirement fund, will you join me and Sheila and others in cutting your salary in half, which is currently more than a U.S. congressperson? Thank you.
Yeah. I think Tomas does not know that he'll be working about 18 hours a day if he wins this race. I will absolutely cut my salary. I heard Sheila say $50,000 that she was contributing her salary, but I would absolutely will. I completely support that. I think the salaries, we need to reduce salaries, and we need for city employees to contribute to their health benefits to reduce costs citywide. So yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that's everyone. Okay, going now to phase three. Phase 3 is speed dating, okay? What's going to happen, Matt, Epstein, Stein, and Jules, we're going to have to find a place at each table for one candidate. The candidate will sit down, and there'll be a moderator at each table. And the moderator will try to control things. The key, since we only have 5 minutes in this part, the key is for the moderators to keep movement of the questions and the answers.
Go to the table that has your number on it that you selected. Then this is going to be a test to see if you guys can actually, then if you're number 1, then you go to 2. When it's called, if you go to 5, you're number 6, okay?
Okay. Okay, so the candidates will take their name and go to a table, and someone's going to give them